Mr. Cañas, music class, Mr. Cañas, music class, Mr. Cañas, music class, Mr. Cañas, music class.
Hello, class. I hope everyone is doing great. I hope that you all are staying safe and healthy and doing... Something seems off. Wait, what's going on? Oh my... looks like I've been turned to a stick figure. This is crazy. Oh well, this is the slimmest I've looked in quite a while. So, let's go on. Today I'm going to teach you one of the most important things in music, and that is duration. Now, what does duration mean? Well, I'm glad you asked. Duration is the time during which something continues, or how long something lasts. So the duration tells you something, how it keeps going, and how long it keeps going for. For example, let's say I am doing something like washing my hands. That's something we should all be doing, right? So I'm washing my hands and I take 30 seconds because I washed them for a long time. So what's the duration of how long I washed my hands? 30 seconds. So in music, duration is measured by beats. And these beats are seen how long they are by seeing what kind of a note they are. So the four kind of beats, the four kind of notes we're going to talk about today are the whole note. Now, the whole note looks like an oval that's empty. There's nothing in the middle of it. It's very easy to remember and very easy to know. So let's go on to the half note. Now, the half note looks like a whole note, except instead of just being an oval by itself, now it has a stem, has a line coming out of the side. And that's how you can tell them apart. After that, you have the quarter note. Now the quarter note looks a lot like the half note, but instead of being an empty oval, this oval is full. It's black in the middle, and it still has a stem. Lastly, we have the eighth note. Now the eighth note looks a lot like the quarter note, right? The big difference you can see is that this one has a tail at the top of the little pole there. It looks kind of like a flag waving down, and this is how you can tell them apart. So, now let's go over how long each of these last. Let's go over their duration. To help teach this, I brought with me a very special tool, something I made just myself, and that is a cup. But not just any kind of cup. These are special cups that will help me teach duration. So, allow me to show you how cups can show duration. This is our first cup. It is called the whole note cup. Why? Well, because there's a whole note on there, of course. Also, it holds as much water as a whole note holds beats. So a whole note holds 4 beats. It is worth 4 beats. This cup can hold 4 beats worth of water. So now let's try to put 4 beats worth of water in there. Are you ready? I turn on the faucet. And 1 beat, 2 beats, 3 beats, 4 beats, and turn off the water before it starts leaking everywhere. Okay, that's good. I thought we were going to get water everywhere. So now the cup's full and it's holding 4 beats worth of water. So let's put that to the side and go on to the next note. Now we have the half note cup. As you can see, it's a cup with a half note on there. Now it might be a little hard to see, but there's actually 2 half note cups in there. Let's take them out. And half note cups are worth 2 beats each. They can hold 2 beats worth of water each. So now I'm going to pour into my half note cup from my whole note cup. And let's see what happens. So first I'm going to pour into 1 cup with my whole note cup. Let's pour that in there. 1 beat, 2 beat, next cup. 1 beat, 2 beat. There you go. Now as you can see, 2 half note cups hold the same amount of water as 1 whole note cup because it's 2 and 2. And 2 plus 2 equals 4. So that's the same as a whole note cup. So now let's move on to our next cup. The quarter note cup is our next cup we're going to go over. So it's called the quarter note cup because obviously it has a quarter note on there. You can see how it's filled in, unlike the other one that was hollow. It was empty. Also, if you look, you can see that there are 4 of them stacked on top of each other. These cups look even smaller than the cup before. So let's unstack these and go from there. So the quarter note cup can only hold 1 note's worth of water, 1 note's worth of music. So now that we have them side by side like this, let's pour into them some water from our half note cups and see what happens. So let's fill in the first cup, 1 beat. This next cup, 1 beat. Look at that, our first half note is empty. Let's go to the next half note cup. Okay, let's fill it in, 1 beat. Next cup, 1 beat. And there you go. As you can see, each one of these is only worth 1. So it was 1 beat, 1 beat, 1 beat, 1 beat. So that's worth, how many beats was these 4 cups? 4. So these 4 cups are worth the same as 2 half notes. And 2 half notes are worth the same as a whole note. So how many quarter notes are worth a whole note? That's right, it's 4. Good job. So now let's move on to the last note we need to learn. And that note is the 8th note on the 8th note cup. You can see that this one has a little flag like the 8th note. You can also see that this cup is really small, right? Especially compared to how big the whole note cup was. And there's a whole bunch of them stacked up. So let's take out all of these and let's see how long they last. So we take them out, and each one of these only lasts half a beat. They don't even last a whole beat. Isn't that crazy? So now that each of these only lasts half a beat, how are we gonna say that? We can't just say 1 half, 2 half. Well, I mean, we could, but that's not really what people usually do in music. So what we usually say is and in the middle. So we say 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So right now we're going to pour our water from our quarter note cups into our 8th note cups and see how many cups we have. And when we get to one of the cups, we're going to count it as 1 and 2 and. Okay, so let's count. Let's pour the water in there. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's it. All our cups are empty. Look at that. We filled them up really quick because they're so small. So how many cups did we end up having? We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we had 8 small little cups. And those 8 cups hold just as much water as the 4 bigger cups. So all those 8 cups hold just as much water as the 2 half note cups and just as much water as a whole note cup. So all of these can hold the same exact amount of water, 4 beats worth. The whole note only needs 1 cup because it holds 4 beats in 1 cup. The half notes need 2 cups because they hold 2 notes in each beat. 1, 2 in 1 cup, 3, 4 in the other cup. The quarter note cup only needs 4 cups because that only has 1 beat per cup. 1 beat, 1 cup, 2 the second cup, 3 the third cup, 4 the fourth cup. 1, 2, 3, 4. And with the 8th cups, you need 8 cups because each one only holds half a beat. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So now let's move on from there. So whenever you're playing a game or singing a song or dancing or doing anything like that, you don't just keep going and going and going, right? It's not like it just keeps going on forever and ever, right? Well, whenever you stop in the middle and you keep going afterwards, it's called a rest. Now, what is a rest? Well, a rest means to pause or to take a break. So let's say you're playing a game and you need to go to the restroom, so you put it on pause and you go to the restroom and you come back. Well, when you had it on pause, you were taking a break. You're rest. Now, throughout the whole entire day, you're awake, and you're awake the whole entire time doing all sorts of stuff, and eventually at the end of the day, you need to take a break from being awake, right? So you take a rest. You rest, you go to sleep. In fact, I think I'm going to do that right now. Oh, I'm up. Oh, where was I? Oh, yes, a rest. I was going to tell you the different types of rests. So, you have 4 different types of rests we're going to go over. The first rest is the whole rest. Now, if you see the whole rest, sounds familiar, right? Like the whole note? Well, the whole rest looks like a rectangle under a line. So there's a line with a rectangle on it. Looks kind of like a top hat, right? Okay, so the whole rest looks like that. A rectangle under a line. Now, why do I stress under? That's because the next one rest we're going to look at is the half rest. And the half rest looks like a rectangle on top of the line. So a whole rest is underneath, a half rest is on top of the line. So it sounds familiar, right? Whole, half, just like the whole note and half note. So the half rest is on top of the line. It looks like a little top hat. After that, we have the quarter rest. We'll look at that word, the same thing, whole, half, quarter. So the quarter rest looks like this. A lot of people have a lot of trouble drawing it. Well, I'm going to show you how to draw it really easily. It's really easy. So let's close in and let's see. All you have to do is start by drawing a lightning bolt like this. Zoom, zoom, zoom. And after that, you just draw a little C at the bottom and boom, you're done. That's it. Very easy, right? Okay, so that's a quarter rest. The last rest we're going to look at is the eighth rest. See, it's the same thing. Whole, half, quarter, eighth. Just like the notes, there are rests. So let's look at the eighth rest. A lot of people find this a little bit hard to draw too, but this one's actually even easier. So all you do is start off with a little circle with a line through it, kind of like a comma, and then you put a little line down, just like that. And if you don't even feel like doing that, you want to be lazy, you can even just draw like an upside down L like this, and people will know what you're talking about, and it'll look just fine. So these are the 4 rests we're going to be working with. So now let's go back to our cups, okay? So here are our cups from before. The whole note cup, half note cup, quarter note cup, and the eighth note cup. I took the liberty of writing down their values on the bottom. Now, although these seems like they just have the notes on them, I actually thought ahead and planned this part out. So on the back of these cups, if you turn them around, you see that I actually wrote on them the values of the rests as well. So, as you can see, behind the whole note cup, you have the whole note rest. Behind the half note cup, you have the half note rest. And of course, behind the quarter note cup and the eighth note cup, you have the eighth note rest and the quarter note rest. So, what does this mean? Well, this means that the rests have the same value as the notes do. So, a half note would have the same time as a half rest, just like a whole note and a whole rest, a quarter note and quarter rest, and so on and so forth. So how many beats is a whole note? It's 4, right? It says right underneath. So how many rests? How long would you rest for a quarter, for a whole rest? 4 as well, pretty good. How many would you rest for a quarter rest? 1, very nice. For an eighth rest, 1/2. How about for a half rest? 2 rests, 2 beats of resting. Very nice, very nice. So these are our rests. So in this lesson, we went over our notes and our rests. and how they are durations of how long you keep singing something. I had a really good time and I hope you guys did too. So I'm going to have to say goodbye for now, but remember to always have a smile on your face and a song in your heart. And don't forget to wash your hands as much as you can, okay? I don't want you guys getting sick. Bye-bye and have a great day.